The cloud.
Open cloud now.
Yeah, open cloud.
Right? So that, I feel like hit the scene, I don't know, like it hasn't been that long at all. And then I got a call from Brandon, he's like, hey, I want you to see something pretty cool that Shibon was working on. And he's calling it remote claw. So give us just a rundown of what claw is and what it opens up.
So I think a quick place to start is even before we talk about Remote Cloud, what's going on behind the scenes at GoHighLevel and what we're working on. So with all of the advancements in AI, especially over the last 2 or 3 weeks, things have gotten crazy. Whether it's 5.3, whether it's Codex, whether it's Opus, there's so many new coding models that have come out that are able to do an incredible job. And my message to the team over and over has been, we have a factory floor where we're pushing out features. We're fast, but we can be faster with AI. And now that AI is here, this is like the electricity moment for industrial production. And what happened is, once electricity was around, it meant that you could add a light bulb to a factory, which means people can work longer hours. But it did not magically raise productivity. It increased slightly. But over many years, what happened is all of the factories retooled. There were tools that were created. There were processes that were created that skyrocketed productivity. So electricity showed up, but it took years for that productivity to really be realized because of the retooling. But with AI, I feel like we can go much faster. So we've been retooling GoHighLevel behind the scenes to make sure that we can be much more productive. So if you thought we were fast before, you guys have no idea what's coming in a month or so. We're going to be much, much faster. To give you a sense, like previously an average sprint used to take 2 weeks for us from something being built as a feature, being tested, QA'd and out. We're bringing that down to a day, so a sprint a day, where you start building and release that same day, a particular feature. So we're going to get much, much faster.
Wow.
So some of these...
Yeah, so Mulclaw happens so fast. And then who knows whether, I think it kind of took the world by storm even then. It was like, whoa, we're touching this a little bit. But to me, it proved what you just said, is that the teams are moving faster than ever. This trend, I feel like last year, a trend pops up, a couple months later, we see somebody playing with it. This popped up literally days later. The team had this working demo where I connected my WhatsApp to GoHighLevel through Claw without leaving GoHighLevel, and then I could just WhatsApp this number and tell it to do things in my subject matter.
Well, again, like everything we do, we let our customers show the way, and we want to make sure that whatever tools you're finding useful out in the market, we're able to support that. With OpenClaw and our version ModeClaw, I think the biggest concern has been security, because no one knows what can happen if there are injection attacks possible, it can steal data. So we were really careful about how we roll this out. So the first thing we did is sandbox it from the GoHighLevel infrastructure. So when we run it, it doesn't run inside our infra and sandbox. We made sure that we gave it specific API access. But the vision here is long term. Let's say you go out to a small business and you sell them an AI employee. You can give them a phone number that's associated with that employee. And that business owner can just text that employee. Like you send a business card that you get at one of these events, it will check if that person exists in your CRM, and if not, add them in, and can add flows in if required. You text that same employee and say, hey, can you clear up my afternoon? It can look at all of the appointments that you have in the afternoon, reschedule all of them, like initiate conversations with all of those people to reschedule them and cancel everything. So the same way you would talk to a receptionist or an assistant within your business, it should be able to do all of those tasks. So that is the vision here. But we were really quick to move on this because if all of you are seeing value, we wanted to make sure that we were giving it to you as quickly as possible. And this should go out in the next week or so to all customers.
Amazing, right? So this for me kind of accumulates with Ask AI. So Ask AI isn't really like a feature that I talk about as the suite. It's really, to me, the underlying layer. And for things like Mulclaw work, Ask AI has to be really great. And so I think we've been going across the teams and plugging everything in, and it's almost fully aware at this point, right? So, but when give us some examples of things that Ask AI can do that people might not realize.
So I think the screenshot here is a good one. Even creating things like email campaigns, identifying a list of users that you want to send the campaigns to, all of that gets baked in here. So with Ask AI, our vision there is what OpenClaw kind of beat us to the punch on. But long term, all of those same features, the ability to build in a cron. So instead of you initiating the conversation, Ask AI is able to keep tabs of things in the CRM for you and then reach out to you if it needs something. Will be baked in over here. Memory will be baked in over here. So the long-term vision is between the phone number that you can hand out to the small business. That should be the CRM and the medium they use that phone number through is Ask AI. So long-term, this should become the future of the CRM.
100%. And I like the screenshot on the right with the barber there, because this is an example of not just, hey, make me an email about whatever that I want to send. It will go across the app, create the content, put it in the scheduler. And so this is really the future where you literally have an AI employee in Ask AI that you can ask questions about my day. Hey, how many people are in the whatever stage of our whatever company? How much value is that? It can answer these questions. And soon it will be able to execute across the platform. How many folks have tried Ask AI? I think we need to do a better job of UX of it because it's so much powerful than you probably realize, and you should just start talking to it and asking these types of questions. And this one screenshot here is basically saying that, like, hey, of the contacts that have joined in the past month, which ones should I reach out to? And it's thinking, which ones have shown signals that they want to be reached out to, and here's a list of those folks. Do you want me to start reaching out? These are the types of things that I think you're going to find yourself doing with Ask AI as the product matures.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, we're a little ahead of schedule, so we're going to continue lunch a little faster than we anticipated. But we do
I thought after the video we can add some background of how we got there. But let's do the video first so we don't spoil the excitement.
Yes, so we do have something very exciting to show you. I talked a little bit, I teach this with the funnel meter, right? Funnel AI up to this point has been kind of a hybrid experience of how do we work AI into the existing world. But it's become pretty clear that there's an alternate way that feels even easier, right? And so the team has been hard at work, and it's at the point where we're ready to show it off. And what's really cool is you guys can hop into the open office hours room and see this live if you want to as well. But are we ready with the video? All right, check this out.
Next level.
What do you guys think? So we're really lucky to have the PM who's actually been working that with us here.
So I will go into the history over here. We were at a leadership offsite and we were on a bunch of travels, and all through that journey Robin kept saying everyone seems to be focused on the whiteboard experience and we need to go in and start building it. And for the first few days I kept fighting. I was like, no, it doesn't make sense. People aren't creating any production grade apps using whiteboarding. Like most of these are just examples that don't make sense. And at some point I was like, well, the better way to have whiteboarding inside the app is using Funnel AI or Workflow AI, where they can actually build concrete things inside the app. But at some point I was like, well, let me stop fighting this and just keep that message in my head and we'll see where this goes. And over time, as we kept talking to more people, the thing that became clear is this is the future. Like people are creating forms, surveys, membership courses, e-com stores, everything using this one particular builder. And we saw that as a huge opportunity on our side as well. Because with our current funnel builder, form builder, survey builder, there's things that work, there's people that even yesterday complained about margin padding issues and how do we make them look nice. And we could have kept building up towards it and we'll still get there with all of these, with the one sprint a day and with the teams moving faster to fix them. But we saw this as the big opportunity to leapfrog all of those technologies. Because with this white builder, you should be able to build forms, surveys, funnels. You should be able to build websites, blogs, e-com stores, whatever you want, all within one interface. And we really think this is the future.
There was so much in that video that you probably have to watch it a couple of times to pick up on. But you saw like the sushi, the Japanese restaurant, right? That calendar wasn't the high-level UX front end, but it was the back end. So when that booking was made, the system picked it up and made the booking. So
and the other piece there was, it was multilingual, which you might not have noticed.
Yeah.
But it switched from Japanese to English. So all of this, we can just get to that end state right now instead of waiting years for this.
We have, I wish we could have made the video longer to show off more of it, but things like, there was another example that I saw where the design had a really beautiful looking form. Again, not a high-level form on the front end, but automatically a high-level form on the back end. And just by vibe coding, like, hey, add 3 more fields, one for this, one for that, one for that, it did it on the front end, and then boom, it's there on the back end. So I'm really excited because
even with something like the form, like you create the form on the front end, you don't have to map anything. It just automatically collects the data. Let's say you add a few additional fields on that form that don't exist, it will automatically create the custom fields and pull those values in as well. So there's no mapping required, it just works like magic.
100%. And you saw probably at the beginning, you can toggle into the code view, right? And actually follow along and watch the code that it's writing. And so then eventually, you'll be able to edit that code if you want. But we're talking about really cool experiences where it's more of like when you're using the inspect tool on Chrome, where you can hover over things and then, correct me if I'm wrong, you'll be able to just talk to it soon.
Yep.
Which for me is awesome, because I hate having that type code to just be able to dictate this language. Like, hey, add more padding to that field of my form. And so I'm really excited about how fast that this is rolling out. Is Matt in the room?
Yeah, that's what I was
He's
getting.
not.
I guess he's not. But if you go to the open,
He's in the back.
oh, he's in the back. So if you go to
Where's
the
he at?
open
There he is.
office,
Everybody give this guy a
the
big
guy is
round.
raising the hand. So he's the person that put all of that together. In the last 7 days, 7 days back this didn't exist, and 7 days later here we are. So that is the speed at which we're moving. But you can all go to Madhav in the open office hours. Feel free to play around with it, have him show you a demo live. But we're hoping to have this out in weeks.
Amazing. Yes, I think that's really fun. Okay, cool. So we're a little ahead of schedule. I think we can take 1 or 2 calls relative to this. We are going to have co-founder Q&A tomorrow, so we can ask questions about all sorts of stuff tomorrow. But does anybody have any AI-specific questions? Yeah. Do we have some mic runners?
Do we have mic runners?
You're right up front. Let me start with you.
So, question related to the website builder, the white builder. Then can we edit the code and add stuff inside it or no?
Yes, you can. And that's where there was so much
Can
packed into the...
can you repeat the question?
Well, the question was, can we edit the code inside the white builder, or is it just prompting that we can do back and forth? You can edit the code on day 1. So the code is written in React along with HTML, CSS, but you have access to all of it. You can edit all of it later.
Fantastic.
Awesome. All right, hands are going up left and right. We have mic. Okay, cool. Let's see a mic right here.
If you can stand up and ask a question.
So I've been using OpenFlow